Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jaykant and I come from National Skill Development Corporation, now part of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. I think we heard about how to do training. We had several examples about TCS, one of the most successful organization in India we have. We heard about accreditation. And now I think the cycle needs to close with how to facilitate that. You need oxygen, you need funding. So we are a funding organization. I will just talk to you about what funding and how could any of you intending to set up a world-class institution for promoting skills, you are most welcome to work with us. We will provide you funding at 6% interest rate for a period of 7 years. It's a simple interest, and you have to give me a proposal. The proposal format is on the website. Just fill it up. There is no interaction required. Fill up the proposal, submit it online. We will take it forward. You would only be required to come once in our office, wherein your case would be tabled after diligence in your presence, so that whatever would have been the observation of the third party about you, you could counter that. So that's what the process we have put in place, which is we supposed to be a very sustainable, credible process. I think the topic today, what we have, is improving employability framework. I think they have rightly put up all the keywords: curriculum, development, accreditation, survey, rankings. All these are very relevant. If we intend to do skill training, 4 things we need. There are 4 verticals: good infrastructure, good content, good trainer, and followed by industry internship or apprenticeship. I think we can't become skilled in a 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months training program for the different skill sets we are looking for. And a skill is not like education. A skill means 100% perfect. Can I wear a shirt which doesn't have a button, or which doesn't have the right matching groove? So they have to be 100% perfect, and that could not happen by just a 3 months, 6 months program. I mean, we all know that practice makes perfect. So beyond that, there has to be an internship, which has to be on job, which has to be with an industry which is already in operation. What is a skill? Knowledge, attitude, and ability. So we can have acquired knowledge, we can have acquired ability, but we need to nurture the attitude. And without having all these 3, if any one of the 3 is missing, a skill is incomplete. And it's not like X percentage, 90%, 99%, or 80%. Either it is there or is it not there. Am I right, sir? So how do we do it? Today's the format which we are following today in the country, it's an extension of our education system. If you see, we had labs: physics lab, chem lab, bio lab. Currently, the format is an extended lab. You had limited exposure in your school life. We are having an extended laboratory exposure when we are currently facilitating a skill. If we add internship to every skill training we are doing, only then the cycle would complete, and only then the completeness or the expectation of having a skilled manpower ready to be engaged day one, as the industry defines. When you say only 25% people post bachelor's or engineers are well enough to start or take over a job day one in the office. Why do we say that? Because we are not giving them the 100% exposure. We need to give them the complete exposure. Only then they would be day one ready for the job. So knowledge could be acquired, ability could be acquired through a long-term internship. What do we do with the attitude? It has to be nurtured. We all have heard in Mahabharata, Arjun was totally down, not ready to take up the job. It's only after a motivational, mesmerizing speech of Lord Krishna that he could take over and win the battle. So that is equally important, sir. You talked about, right trainer, right content, right curriculum. In some way, these are all mechanized, but the right intent of the trainee has to be there. The right delivery of the trainer has to be there. So, and that would create aspiration, that would build in the intent in the individual to take it forward. Nothing is impossible if you have got the strong intent to do it. So intent is equally important to be successful. That's my understanding. You talked about APAC, sir. The ministry has, during the last budget, they have got a bill passed wherein they are coming up with a national board for skill accreditation and certification. I think we would request you to share your thought process and the learnings of APAC so that the best practices could be taken into there as well. As far as international practices, we are coming up with India International Skill Centers. On 15th July, we launched 15 of India International Skill Center, IISC. It was launched by the Honorable President of India. So Ministry of External Affairs is working very closely with us. They are trying to map the skill requirement in other countries, and then the course curriculum are being mapped. So when you say a fitter over here or a welder over here, what does a welder mean in those countries where there is a need? Yes. So as you know, in India we have developed occupation standards or qualification packs, which is nothing but the curriculum. So these curriculum are mapped line by line, competency by competency with the countries wherein there is a need of those sort of manpower. And the accreditation, the certification will also be equivalent. There will be a double certification. So India will do as per our guideline. We have set up, the board will come into place. Currently the Sector Skill Council is doing. So the content will be mapped, the program will be mapped in these India International Skill Centers. There will be a double certification, and these people would be job ready. They would be given all those visas and passports based on this certification. So this is being done so that the exploitation could also be stopped. People going out without being registered by the government, I mean they are taken for granted over there and they are exploited. So these would also come down significantly. So any individual over here or an organization willing to take up value add in any of the components of skill development, either in content development, maybe digitizing, or have infrastructure where you feel a good training program could be set up, or have got land building, or have got any CSR activity, anything you see, whatever way you want, we are highly flexible in our approach. We are there to work with you to the extent you want our indulgence, our assistance. We would also like your support because we already have 250 training partners working with us. We have got training centers across the country in almost 500 districts of the country. We need to do ranking. We need to know how they are doing on the ground. Your feedback would be highly welcome, again from that perspective. More and more internship is required. We would like to propagate this message across the industry that they should come forward, work with any of our training partners, walk down to any of the training centers, try to facilitate internship. It's very important for strengthening it. And if we see SEED, the abbreviation SEED in itself, gives you a complete understanding how we should move. Institute industry partnership. Now, if institute is working in its own arena, in its own world, industry is working in its own world, and there is no symbiotic relation, there is no partnership, I don't think the desired quality of skilled manpower will ever come up. And that's what the drawback in our current education system is. So we have to work together. Now, what are the skill sets required? What is the technological advancement happening in the industry? They have to give back. They have to share those requirements as you do in your indent for material in your factory, in any production company. So until and unless you indent your requirement, how will the manufacturing unit here, your educational institution will provide you the desired quality of product? So we are completely missing on this part. The symbiotic relation has to be built up. You go to Germany, you will have one professor, the industry provides them a complete building. The industry provides the complete equipment, the capex. This professor leads the entire innovative and research thing. So we have to bring in those type of culture over here so that the desired type of product what the industry is looking for could be provided by the education system. And education and skill always go together. Without a skill, again it's incomplete, the human being would be incomplete. Without education, only skill, again it's incomplete. So they both have to go together. And SEED has proved this. Both of us were on the dais last year in your third program. They have shown sustainability, they have called us again. The partnership continues, Industry Institute continues. And from the skill perspective, I would like to thank the person who introduced us. He is such a highly skilled person in the job which he is doing. How he had made us glorified. I am an MBA from Symbiosis. The way he was delivering it as if it was sounding I am coming from Harvard. And I really got so, motivated and energized. So thank you, sir. Thank you you have done justice to your job. Thank you so much.